That brings us to the final regional. Fargo. We got Western Michigan hosting, call them what you want, Minnesota State or Mankato. And you got the Gophers with UMass. Let's start with the Western Michigan one because, like, sneaky could be, like, we're going to learn really fast whether or not Mankato's for real. Like, if their numbers hold up and what they've been doing in the CCHA is real, really shitty draw for Western Michigan to get. What do you make of this matchup?
I have a funny feeling Western Michigan is going to just, I feel like the first 10 minutes, they are going to be full throttle. They might be 3-0 up in 10 minutes. I just like watching them play. I just love Western Michigan. Like their whole, the way that they play is very fun to watch in general. And they just love to, like, the first 10 minutes are miserable. And I do think Mankato just gets exposed here. I like not to talk shit about Mankato because
totally. But I feel the same way, and it's not like from a negative stance. Like they're a solid team, and they're easily the best team in the CCHA. But I'm excited to see what it looks like against like actual competition. Like I hope that they prove me wrong and that they like can absolutely hold up against a team like Western Michigan. I don't see it personally.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm just pulling up the Western Michigan's past however many games. Four goals in a double OT win over Denver. 4 goals in the first round against North Dakota. They scored 6 in the quarterfinal in each game against St. Cloud. Put up 5 and 8 against Miami. Who cares? 3 against North Dakota, 6 against like they just scored a million fucking goals.
But now pull up Mankato's stats. How many goals did they allow?
That's the thing. I don't care. But I mean, Alex Bump doing his thing, 23 and 23.
Yeah.
There's Tim Wash. That's who. I'm trying to remember his fucking name. But I mean, they just get tons of scoring.
But you forget that there's royal family lineage in Mankato.
True. That's a good
Rhett
point.
of House Pitlick.
Yeah, the Rhett of House Pitlick. That's a good point.
I don't know. I'm going to be fascinated to see it, but I'm definitely in your camp where I think Western is going to expose them. But I would love to be proven wrong. I think it could be a very interesting matchup if it's like all firepower versus all defense. Like it makes for an interesting way. And kind of a hot take, I don't know. Gophers are fortunate that they lost as early as they did to Notre Dame because they would have been the 1 seed in this regional, and them against Mankato scares me a hell of a lot more than Western against Mankato. And this matchup with UMass feels, and I'm going to defer to you because you've seen way more UMass than me, but this feels like a way softer landing for a team that's going to be coming in with like 3 weeks not playing.
Yeah. I would say it's funny. It's like Minnesota versus Mankato is the game where you're just like I don't care if one team's 0 wins this year and one team's undefeated. It's a 50-50. It's just how this fucking goes in this region here. Versus Western Michigan, I just really have a funny feeling they're going to run the table on them. UMass, I would say if you're going to be in this, like this is the matchup for Minnesota. That being said, UMass has had a really unexpectedly unbelievable year where they're pulling off wins against Maine. They beat them 5-1 recently, and then they lost in a shootout. They beat BC. They've beaten Lowell. There's one other one. They beat UConn. They've beat that. They're having, especially the last month and a half too. They've just been pulling off these ridiculous wins, and that's another team that they can score up and down their lineup. That being said, I still believe in the firepower of Minnesota to take UMass here in this first round. And I do think realistically, when you just look at all the matchups in the first round, Minnesota having UMass again, UMass is legit, they're good. Again, Mankato is always gonna be a weird matchup anyways with Minnesota, and Western Michigan scares the fuck out of me no matter who's playing them. So I think I'm taking Minnesota to beat UMass, and I'm taking Western Michigan to beat Mankato. I'm gonna roll with Minnesota here.
For me, I mean, it goes either way, right? Like, they're going to either come in cold and get embarrassed by UMass, or they're going to come in and that's going to be the springboard to them feeling good. And I do think that on paper, like, I think they're a better team than Western Michigan. That said, if they have any missteps, like, Western Michigan will punish them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But if they get through that first game and they're playing their game and they get back to where they were when we were buzzing over them back in December, like, I still think on paper Minnesota is one of the best teams in the country. It's just which version of that team on paper are we going to see? They are very Jekyll Hyde, and I think if they come in and take care of business against UMass, I think they have the horses. Wow, no pun intended there, to get past Western Michigan. This is a very favorable draw for them.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the 2-3 matchups that you see across all of these regionals, like, UMass was the best one they could have hoped for. Doesn't mean that it's going to be an easy game by any means, but I don't know. I was not mad when I saw these draws. Now, if you ask Colby Cohen, Gophers have no chance. But
the greatest. I do have one bit of bad news for Minnesota. UMass does have one of our former all-name teams. All-name team players, there is. Francesco Del Elche. DELL''ELCE. First name, Francesco.
Now, you know what, though? I got some bad news for UMass. There's only two Minnesota teams in this regional. I don't know if you remember the famous, renowned Frozen Four that had 3 Minnesota teams plus UMass. Of course, fucking UMass wins. Like, that was the most Minnesota Frozen Four ever.
Unbelievable.
So the fact there's only 2, like, it bodes a little bit better. But Jupe, go for puck live. If Jimmy doesn't perform, they are going nowhere. Hard to disagree with that. I also think the guy that really needs to get back on the score sheet, because I've liked a lot of what Jimmy's done, he just hasn't been scoring. I need to see top tier Brody Zemer back. Because he's been in and out of it, and, like, you've seen him, like, his physicality is still there. He's, like, played fine hockey, but, dude, he was a menace for a stretch. Like, there were times where, like, I was ready to be like, holy crap, is he our best player? If he can get back to it, and if Jimmy can just find the back of the net, dude, Oliver Moore has been a man possessed. And I say of late. They haven't played of late, but rewind it, go back to whatever of late means. Like, he's not the problem on that line. They'll get going, and whatever combination they throw with Wood and Kurth, like, I think that's the line that's going to be the difference maker. Like, as long as Jimmy's generating opportunities, even if he's not scoring goals, like, if they're a problem, taking all the attention, and you can get that Kurth Wood combo, that could be what does it. And of course, there's the question mark at goaltending.
That was my next question.
Guys, but who's playing? Like, we actually don't know who's in.
That was my question. I was going to ask you: is it Soulier or you?
I want Soulier, but I'm gonna be honest. If they put Ari in, I'm good with it.
Yeah,
I believe in the kid. It's just, I don't know.
That's one thing I really wish that wasn't a question. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, I really hate the fact that that's a question and they haven't played in 2 weeks. Like, I hate that.
That's damn near 3.
Yeah, fuck.
That's really, like, and granted, Colby Cohen was gonna shit on the Gophers no matter what, but he's right. Like, I think it's 19 days without playing an actual game. That's a problem. That is a real problem. And that's why, like, again, I think UMass is a very fortunate game, far from being a guarantee, but, like, hey, if they can get right in this game, Western Michigan does not want to play the Gophers. Like, that's a real shit matchup for 1-2. So
yeah. And I mean, we'll see what version of Michael Robel shows up for UMass. I mean, he's played like 34 of their games this year in that. He's legit. But the two players on UMass I love. First of all, Adar Suniev. Oh my God, can he play? He's got 18 and 18 this year. He is like ridiculously skilled. He fucking hits. He can score goals. He's legit. And then Kenny Connors has been a beast for them. I think he's under a point per game, but like he factors all three zones too. So, but yeah, at the end of the day, the fact that you've got like 6'6" Michael Ravel sitting in net, and like we've seen what he's done before at like World Juniors too. Like he's a big game player, big game goaltender, and he's like, he's played almost every fucking game for them. I think it's been like only 4 games he hasn't played.
That's also a concern,
which is crazy. Like he said, 4 games off all year. So we'll see what happens. But again, I'm taking Minnesota here. Is it over UMass? Yes, I'm just taking them.
Yeah.
And is it gonna be like a homer pick for them to come out of here? Probably, because again, Western Michigan does scare the fucking shit out of me.
But for the 1 seeds, like that's who you want, right? You don't want Maine, you don't want Michigan State, you don't want BC,
right?
Like it could have gone the other way, where the Gophers could have been the 1 and Western was the 2. Like it's the 4-5. If you look at the like full seeding, like this is as close of a matchup as you're going to get for that next one. So
yeah. The only things that are, I was about to say the only things that rattle off every boxler concern. I don't know like what the line combos are going to look like, and I don't know who's starting in net. But the other one question I'm going to have is what Sam Rinzel is going to show up to.
Yeah.
Like, are we going to get first like 15 games, Sam Rinzel? At that point, that is an absolute X factor for you, where it's like he's gonna fucking play 30 minutes. He's gonna be a beast, and he's probably gonna put up 3 points. Like he's an animal. It's just like that's another question. But I mean, the fact that Oliver Moore is buzzing is a big plus for me too. Like, the way that he's played, not again, like you said, not lately. No one's played lately, but he's just been a fucking animal. Second half of the year, he's just been good. Where it's like he's also making a lot of plays that don't result in points anyways, but like he's been solid. He's been fine, like a positive all year. But second half of the year, he's just like, it's like big moments in big games. He's stepping up and like making plays. So I love that. Because I love the player. Love watching him play. But we're taking the Gophers, baby. Just doing it. Hopefully Mankato just like at least like kicks, like physically grinds Western Michigan down too. Like that's the other thing where it's like Mankato is like fucking brutal team to play against. It's just like it's not fun. And it's like playing in mud. So
yeah, they'll forget how to score.
Yeah, they will. But yeah, I love like the matchups are fucking phenomenal though. Like there's at least there's only like a 1 or 2 where I'm like, I don't really care about this one.
I really just one, right?
Yeah, actually, literally one. I was trying to like say that, but yeah, no.
Yeah, fair point. After the first period, we'll pretty much know what's happening.
yeah.
Like, really.
Dude, what a weird. Damn.
And of course, that game had to be scheduled during the Ovechkin game. So now I might not even go.
Like, come on.
Bad. Just bad taste. Oh, Jupe's taking Maine for his champion pick, which, I mean, Z, we got to do it. Like, you picked your 4 teams to advance. How do you see it breaking down from there? Who wins it?
I would love to say Maine, but I don't see that happening. Another big part of me really just wants to say Minnesota.
That's a scary pick.
I might go, given especially how the matchups look leading up to it, I might take Michigan State here. Like, again, love Maine, heart pick. Picking them to come out of that region anyways. Michigan State, I'm going to take them over, like I said, take them over Cornell. And like, I think Ohio State takes BU, but I think Michigan State can handle them. And like at that point, I'm taking Michigan State. I think like as far as the path to the championship game goes, Michigan State's got a pretty nice like if you like I mean, there's gonna be tough matchups everywhere. But as far as like this, like where they find themselves in the bracket, I could see them like pulling that off. So I think my brain says Michigan State more than any other team. Because
it's reasonable.
Yeah. But like there is a part of me that would love like imagine a BC BU national championship game. Everyone would fucking hate it, except for me, because I would love to watch them kick the shit out of each other.
I mean, dude, you watched it in person. Like Michigan State, Minnesota would be an insane championship.
That's another great one, yeah. Strable would kill someone, probably. For sure.
No, guaranteed. Poor Gruba.
I'll never forget the noise that hit made. I think I grabbed your shoulder. I was like, oh, I think he's dead.
It's one of those ones where like the wind gets knocked out of you. It's like, ugh.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. No. What would be a very like? I'm looking at the matchups now where it's like a potential national championship game to be a very fun hockey game that no one would have like penciled in. Might be like Western Michigan, Maine in like a national championship game, just super fucking random. Like have not seen that. Well, obviously never seen it, but like two teams that like at the start of the season you never would have been like, yeah, it's gonna be Western Michigan and Maine in the national championship.
Penn State, Mankato.
Cornell versus Bentley. The least watched national championship game of all time.
No, dude. That's how it would go. It would be Bentley, Minnesota, and Bentley would win. Who's their Gostas bear?
They're on the same side, though, right? Yeah, they're on the same side. Minnesota versus... No, all those. I think matchup on the other side of the bracket would be really good.
Minnesota, Penn State. Do they play Soulier?
Have to. I'm excited though, man. I can't wait. Like,
that's gonna be fun.
I love the way the bracket turned out. I think every game is gonna be incredible. Maybe like BC might fucking run Bentley, but who knows? Bentley's also pulled off a couple wins that were every year they've got one or two against some of the top dogs.
I genuinely didn't know they existed.
Yeah, no, yeah, they've like the school has like 3,000 people, 2,000 or 3,000. It's a tiny school. Yeah, it's out here. But yeah, I don't know. I think we did the thing. Flu game. Oh, that's true too. But a potential of Pitlick versus Minnesota.
I mean, sounds very fun.
Yeah.
He also might get murdered.
Group. I'll kill him. Actually, no, it would be Hess might murder him.
Who?
Oh God. What did I said, oh my God, I said Kess. Kester.
Oh.
I literally said Kess like your dog.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about? Kessel,
yeah, I think
been a while.
I think Kester might murder him.
That could be fun. And I mean, I'll still stand by this. I loved the stick toss, Sully. I know they lost the game. Don't care. That rocked so much.
Don't care. Yeah, I'm all in on the stick toss.
Tell you, if he did that in this tournament, all in.
Mm-hmm. Yep.